hi Calver, would love your take on this. I need a professional touch to make this whole project look good. Need help with lighting and scene composition and want to create a warm environment. I feel like if you are establishing kind of like an environment here with the grass, then it should continue in some way with like other elements. But if you don't feel like adding more environment, like only having her in the frame and just the sky could also be cool. Or maybe you could even do something abstract with the grass, like maybe have it as kind of like a torus, maybe as like a framing device around her. I'm just going to copy over the particle system you already had onto this torus here. Yeah, I guess something like this, just like make it a bit more abstract.
Oh wow, I did not know this trick.
Yeah, I think I like this direction. Then we could try the lighting next.
We have to play with lighting.
Yeah, and I think also like having her in front of the blue is really good for the silhouette, right? Like it makes her really pop out. I got this really cool add-on that's called Light Wrangler. If I add lighting manually without that add-on, I usually put the kind of like the cursor where I want the light to look at, and then I'm just like adding a new light here with Shift A, light, area light usually, because area lights are the most versatile. And then I just move it up a little bit, switch this transform pivot point to 3D cursor, and then we can very easily move the light around that position. Actually, I'm gonna have one like really strong one. Let's just see if we can use that as a kind of like an edge light, like coming from behind. I think I want to try just like have like a big soft light source from the front. Yeah, I think this soft, like super soft light from the front really adds a lot of depth to the character. It really shows all the detail, and it also feels like she is looking towards something, like a goal, right? Instead of her just looking off into nothing.
Yeah, it does make more sense.
I'm also gonna already try to block off lights, because removing light is just as important as adding light. Usually I just add a plane object here. Then this plane, I change a few settings here. For visibility, for example, I disable camera visibility. Yeah, camera visibility is disabled. And display, I also turn it to a wire, so it's easier to see when it's not visible. And then also for shading, I am doing an emission and just making it black. Now we can just use these planes and duplicate them to basically add shadow where we need more contrast, right? So you can see if when we put this behind her, that suddenly we get much more contrast already, right? Like she's much darker from the back, much more lit from the left, which also is very nice for the ring on the right here. I think for the left ring, we need to give it some more light direction so it doesn't feel so flat, but I think on her it looks pretty cool already.
Dude, this looks amazing.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I think in general, like just having this cover up the whole back is pretty good. Or maybe not that much, maybe like leaving in a little bit from the top. Honestly, like having it very contrasty, I think is good. And then we can still add a little bit more additional light sources where we need them. Yeah, what I definitely noticed right now is that the clouds, the brightness doesn't really feel matching to her brightness. So I want to like see if we can make the clouds look a little bit brighter, like make it feel a little bit more cohesive.
Maybe increase the intensity of cloud.
The strength, you mean?
Yeah, the strength.
Yeah, let's try that. Kind of like want to make sure that to keep the little bit darker blues of the sky. But this does look kind of cool. Like having it brighter definitely feels a little bit more dreamy and positive, I would say. Yeah, it's kind of like light on her arm here feels a little strange. I want to see where that comes from. Maybe we can block that off and direct it a little bit more. Just gonna use the light blocker here, duplicate it, put it somewhere else. Coming from there. It's coming from the top. Here it is. Yeah. Okay, so if we add the shadow there. Now she definitely looks a little bit too dark. I think we can like manual light her a little bit better than what the HDRI does right now. Yeah, I think if we just block half of it, that's also cool. Often you really don't need that complex of a light setup. Yeah, so like usually this is kind of like the basic that most people use for lighting objects, right? With the key light, a fill light, and a backlight. Usually you don't really need more than this, because if you add more than this, the lighting could feel a bit cluttered, and the dimensionality, the depth of your subject could get lost if you add too many lights. So usually, in my opinion, having less lights is actually better than having too many lights. I want to see if we can get the left torus here a little bit more of a gradient to the left, to like have the right side of it brighter than the left side. So I'm gonna see if we can do that with another light blocker. There we go. Yeah, okay, I can do it. Yeah, but now we need definitely a bit of a brighter edge here. So I'm gonna just try to actually link this. So I'm gonna duplicate this light here, shine it towards that, and just link it. Let's see. Shading, light linking. I'm gonna choose the grass torus. Okay, cool. So now it should only affect the torus and not the character at all. Yeah, it's working. Okay, cool. Because I want to use this to make sure that this gets a nicer outline. And I think we already have it. If we move this away. Yeah, we basically already have it. Maybe we can make this even even brighter. Let's do like 4 times as much. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, having this kind of like gradient and high contrast really makes things feel much deeper, right? So it looks pretty cool. I would like to add a little bit of additional lighting on the hair, because I think the hair could still be a little bit more detailed. Just gonna add another little area light here. And maybe we can also make this a different color to like give it a little bit of a color contrast. Maybe even like making it the sky color. Let's try that.
Oh, it should look good.
I think it needs to be very much from the back, so it doesn't feel too fake. Oh yeah, this is starting to work. The thing is, like, the smaller we have the light source, the clearer the detail on the hair is, though. So I kind of want to like have a good mix in there. Oh wait, actually, so this is pretty cool for the hair, but for the rest we would need it a bit softer. So maybe I'll actually do 2 light sources, one for the hair and one for the rest. So let me do the spread a little bit smaller here, so it only hits the hair mostly like this. This was kind of cool. Okay, yeah, this is kind of cool. I'm gonna lower the intensity a little bit here. Yeah, so now we just have like a very like little point in the hair that has a lot of contrast, which again like pulls the focus towards it. And then I'm gonna duplicate this as a soft one that also affects the rest of her body. So we can have both.
I really should go study lighting, man.
Yeah, oh man, lighting is so important. Lighting is so cool. It makes all the difference. Okay, yeah, I mean, she definitely pops out a lot. Like she's very obvious now. I think it's pretty good at this point.
Well, man, I did not expect you to do this good of a job, so this is really...
Yeah, honestly, okay, now looking at it, I feel like the pink is a little bit too much on the left here. So let me just try to put a light blocker between her and the pink ring to like reduce that a little bit. Oh yeah, that's also pretty cool. Like giving it, because now I'm kind of like now just dipping in a corner of this rectangle, right? And that gives it kind of like this cool, more detail to the lighting, right? Like it's not just like one flat pink. Now it's got like some kind of cool gradient where it's strong on the top and strong on the bottom, but not so strong on the middle. Oh shit, the max samples are actually way too high. Like this, the stand that Blender comes with, like the 4096, but I personally think it's way too high. Like you almost never need that many samples. Okay, so max samples, I usually have it only at 412, I think, or just like 400. And for the viewport, even lower, it's just like 200. Keep a low number to begin with, and then when you do the final renders and you notice, ah shit, it's actually not enough, then you can bump it up. But yeah, just keep it low in the beginning so you don't waste time waiting too much while you work on the project. Oh, these like caustics things, I usually have them turned off because they create a lot of noise and don't really add that much to the image unless you want specifically metallic and water reflections. Yeah, but even then, like these caustics are so heavy to render. If you want realistic looking caustics, you would need to render like 2 hours for one image or something. In my opinion, usually it's not worth using it. It makes more sense to just fake them with like other light sources and stuff. I'm gonna add a viewer so we can have it in the background like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's this new glow filter. How's it called? Gleam? Glare. Oh yeah, oh, it's way more complex now. Oh, it's so nice. Wow. Yeah. It really makes it glow in a very nice way. Yeah, I usually like to have like one very light glow around the highlights, kind of like what we have right now, and then I usually add another one that's more soft, and I mix them together. So let's increase the size here, and also the threshold a little bit lower, so it like catches a bit more of the sky, and then the sky can like bleed over her a little bit more. So we got our 2 glares here, they're getting fed together, and then they're getting added together with the original image. Yeah, now we can just like play around a little bit with the glows here, but I think it's already pretty cool. The glow feels pretty nice already. Something that I also usually like to add is the lens distortion, because then you can make it again feel a little bit more analog, a little bit more realistic by getting a little bit of distortion here, just like a tiny bit like that. Activate fit, also adding a little bit of dispersion to like get a little bit of chromatic aberration. Okay, and then I guess like as a last step you could do some contrast curves, RGB curves before the lens distortion. Let's do this film like. I'm not super sure what that does, but it sounds better. And let's just adjust it a little bit, add a little bit of contrast here. Yeah, I think this little bit of the contrast here definitely adds to the image. Oh yeah, by the way, you can enable disable nodes with M. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Should I just send it back to you like this and then you can take it from here?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna use the same techniques you showed me, and I'm gonna create something else. Hopefully it's gonna be as good as this.
Thank you. I'm happy you like it. I'm excited to see where you take it from here, what you will add to it. you would like me to look at your projects and give you some tips how to improve them, check out the 7-day trial of the student membership. It's free and it's pretty cool.